Hello there. You might not think of me as somebody who represents sports in general, but surprise, I am a co host for the Summer of Sport. This was started by Mark at Book Time with Elvis and Steve Donoghue, and there were some other co hosts. I'll just tell you all the co hosts at the end of the video. So, my big interest in sports these days, as far as literature goes, is to read books about old women who are doing amazing things or who have done amazing things. So I'm pretty much focusing on sports that are appropriate to old women or maybe younger women. Depends on what I get into this summer. I do have a couple of books on my TBR for the Summer of Sport. But first, let me explain to you a little bit more about the adventure that we're going on this summer. It's all about reading books having to do with any kind of sport. Your book choices, it really doesn't matter. There's no prompts. You can just focus on any sport you like. Personally, the sports that I have been interested in participating in during my lifetime are hiking and bicycle riding. Never been professional. It's extremely casual on my part. But I will tell you, when I was 18, I climbed Mount Albert 3 times in 1 week. That's my claim to fame. So Mount Albert is a little mountain, about 3,000 feet, I guess. It's in the Gaspé Peninsula provincial park up in Canada, in Quebec. And indeed, I climbed that mountain 3 times in 1 week, best I can do for sporting. At this point, I barely walk, to be honest with you. I've got osteoarthritis, and sometimes I even walk with a cane, believe it or not, depending on how much it hurts. So I haven't even been hiking much, like even to walk around the block much, and I want to, I really do, but I don't know, for over a year and a half I had plantar fasciitis, if you know what that is. So it's like walking isn't really my best thing right now. Still, I am trying, and what I do for exercise, there's 2 things. One thing I do is lawn mowing. Now, I researched whether or not I could call lawn mowing a sport. So I looked for the definition of the word sport. It is an activity involving physical exertion and skill. And indeed, lawn mowing involves physical exertion, and you might say there's a little bit of skill. You have to know how to work the thing. And then the rest of the definition of sport is in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. So I could say I'm competing against the weeds to see who wins. Like, do they grow faster than I can mow them down? Or I could compete against the neighbors to see who keeps the best yard. Not that anyone here cares too much. Well, they don't care what my yard looks like, but they don't like the idea of having tall grass that could burn easily if there was another fire. So mowing is really important in my life right now. And that's the most walking that I actually do, and I think it's pretty good. But the last part of the definition of sports is for entertainment. And I cannot honestly say that I lawn mow for entertainment. It's like not what I would prefer to do in my life, but there it is. It's got to be done. And it helps keep me healthy. I guess that's my main big idea for keeping healthy in my old age, is to be doing a lot of gardening. And I think it helps. But I also have an exercise bicycle. Now, you know, when I started this channel, I was doing some bicycle riding. I rode my bike all the way from the Idaho state line to the end of the trail near Coeur d'Alene, Lake Coeur d'Alene. And those were the good days, back when I could do things like that. That was not a painless adventure, by the way, as I recall. But I did it, and I'm glad that I did. So I no longer have that bike. I was very attached to that bike for a long time. I even had it in some of my early videos, my booktube videos, and I called it Bikey. And well, it burned in the fire, wouldn't you know it? And I thought about getting another bike now, but I'm 71 years old, and I thought maybe that's not the best idea because, bones don't heal as fast as when you're young. I'm 71 years old, so I thought I'll just get an exercise bicycle. So if I can do that every day, I think I would be healthy. But I don't do it every day, but I wish I did. Pray for me. Just pray for me, please. I need to be a little bit healthier, but I mean, vicarious sports. Like, there's a couple of books that I've read that are just so inspiring to me. Grandma Gatewood's Walk. She was the first woman to walk the entire Appalachian Trail all the way through, and she did it when she was, I think, late 60s, and she actually walked it all the way through two other times. Last time was when she was about 75. So that's inspirational, right? And then there's another book that I was really inspired by. It's called The Ride of Her Life, the true story of a woman, her horse, and their last chance journey across America. So she was diagnosed with cancer, and they wanted to put her away in a nursing home and wait for her to die, but she wasn't into that, so she decided to saddle up, and she left her home, which I think was in Maine, and she rode a horse. She actually bought another horse along the way, so she had two horses, and she rode all the way to California. And she ended up at a little fairgrounds right across the street from where I used to live in Tulare, California. I lived in this little trailer park thing for a while, and right across the street was the fairgrounds where she was with her horses. I do have some TBR books for the summer of sport, and I'll tell you what they are. One of them is called Swimming Pretty by Vicki Valosik. And this book is about synchronized swimming, which I think is a good topic or a good sport for older women. I had some friends up in Coeur d'Alene area that were doing swimming for exercise. And then the other book that I'm planning to read during the summer of sport is Never Too Late by Gwendolyn Bounds. It's subtitled The Power of Pushing Limits at Any Age. And it is a memoir, and what she does is obstacle course racing. So I'm looking for inspiration. I'm seriously looking to get healthier. So that's my story. Summer of Sport co-hosts are starting with Mark at Book Time with Elvis and Steve Donoghue. Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, Bill Ruttenberg. Melissa at Time Travel Reads. Debs at Rayner Reads Stuff. And Randy Ray, the Literate Texan. So there we have it. I hope that you'll join us for the Summer of Sport reading, and there's no prompts. It's just your choice of what books you'd like to read in the sport genre. Okay, talk to you later.